welcome to the Geomologist Presents. This is another edition of What's in the Box. You can see that I'm wearing my Sharps rifle shirt, the regiment of foot rifles. However, we're not doing Napoleonics today, but something, I guess, warlike, maybe, and have the box. So let's get into it. So this box is approximately 13 and a half inches or 35 centimeters long. Actually, I'm doing this in reverse order. And then 27 centimeters or 10 and a half inches wide. And it's about box size, but the width of it is 2 inches or 5 centimeters, just about. And it is actually from, believe it or not, from Turkey, or printed in Turkey, from Europe. But I guess it's done through a different party, sent from Turkey to Illinois, and then to me through US postage. So very interesting journey that this book has taken. I probably will not need the box cutter because it just kind of opens up. And there's the box there. Oh, look, see what it is? As I disappear, Era of the Crusades. Huh, what is that? It's actually a D&D 5e product. I kind of liked it, by this group called Historia Arcanum, Era of the Crusades. You can see that. I guess maybe I got the deluxe cover. I don't know. But a very evocative piece of art there in the front. And what is this about? Historia Arcanum is a grand setting for tabletop games where arcane powers, eldritch horrors, and unlikely heroes clash in secrecy as the history of our world marches on. So kind of like D&D, but with some fantasy elements. I know looking at the PDF, there was elves and dwarves and all that kind of stuff. But this is a very nice book. So different size, right? It's not quite your standard book size, I don't think. Maybe it's a little longer. Yeah, it's like 12 inches long and still 8.5, but a little taller. No, yeah, a little taller. Not even 8.5 by 11. So very interesting. So History Arcanum of Era of the Crusades. I'll flip through it. Oh, there's some pretty cool art. Maybe I will flip through it. So here is sort of the inner flap. Oops, the inner flap here. And you can see a very evocative piece of art. I will describe it to you. It seems like it's some sort of Greek or Roman fresco here. And here we go. Let's get on to the contents. Here are the contents. I'll try to reduce the glare as much as possible, but you see the forward introduction, the world of Historia Arcanum, so give you some world lore first, then character options, so some subclasses, professions, a character builder, new spells, forging your own order, and Deck of the Damned. I guess they use the card system. Then it talks about Jerusalem and Cairo, so a little gazetteer, and then the Book of Ingenious Monsters, and then an appendix. So I don't know, it might just be a site. I don't know if it has adventures. There might have been like an adventure folio that came as a PDF with it. But let's look at, as we turn the page, you see the introduction. There's a forward as well, but the introduction kind of gives you a summary of what these things are about. And for example, character options, you will find options for Era of the Crusade setting and the world of Historica Arcanum, a series of profession choices for a mechanical addition to the 5th edition, new spells, and the like. So a character builder. So how you will find a comprehensive character and backstory builder that draws inspiration from the rich history and diverse geography of the Holy Lands. There's a fly here on the book. I apologize. And then things like the Era of the Crusades, the history, the knightly orders, and then the Deck of the Damned. The combat encounters and story arcs for 5th edition are inherently intense, marked by fierce battles, mystical upheavals, and heart-wrenching losses, seldom mechanized. To address this, we have developed a deck the Damned, a system for combat and narrative stress. So very cool. So kind of similar to things you might see in like Warhammer Fantasy, well, at least the third edition, where there was a progression of stress or because of results. So here you go, Chapter 1, The World of Historica Arcanum. Ooh, there's a nice little, that's very interesting. Nice little leaf there. It's a very beautiful book. So here's Jerusalem and Cairo, the history, special conditions, cosmetic effects. Okay, I guess this is all the right running a story, how you run a story. So it gives you kind of tables to run a story, the people of the Holy Lands, uh, the title of the land, etc. What do they want? So it's very interesting stuff here. Armor and weapons. So they have like armor and weapons here that you might see, um, which is kind of nice. So uh, they're, I guess, at the top, like a step bow. I guess it's more interesting if I move this up a little bit. At the top here, like a step bow, kargis, a handcar, and other weapons as well. So, and then the armor of the area. So here are the character options. I kind of wanted to take a look at this. And oh, so it's interesting. So that they have subclasses and they have things that you build. So level 3, level 6, and level 14. There's impending doom, the talk of the end, an imposing prophecy, and the fear of doom, so etc. So there's like path of the otherworldly might, the flagellant domain. So as new domains and options, you kind of use the basic circle of the sun. So it's still using sort of archetypes. And I guess you get these at third level in a fifth edition D&D. So still using, pre 2024 really. Um, so those a new fighter class or the Mamluk, and then Way of the Pilgrim. So again, these are all sort of Oath of the Crusades, and they get things Sentry, etc. The Veil Warden, so all sorts of things like that. The Soul of Mott, the Weaver, Patron. So different for different classes, they have different options as well. So it's worth taking. And then they have professions, which I think is different. Um, Professions kind of give sort of a system. Profession systems is designed to enhance the background and current occupations of player characters besides their adventuring classes. So it kind of gives maybe source of income, things to do, what you get when you get there. There's profession experience, I guess. So you can craft, maybe it's a robust crafting systems because they have and other things, of course, and abilities. So it's probably a more robust sort of subsystem to reflect like what do they do when they're not adventuring, which is kind of nice, right? So like in say Pendragon, for example, what do you do when you're not out adventuring? You have a manor. You make sure your household is doing okay, right? So that kind of stuff. So herbalist is an option as well. So pretty interesting. Now, a character builder here. Here's a character builder that they have. So birthplace is there. You can see that birthplace there. And then on the opposite side, they have other things that happen during your life. So it's kind of like it seems to me like a backstory, not backstory. What is it called? Sort of a story path, but not story path system. Um, anyway, so the things that you'd see like in other games, so like the Modifius 2D20 life path, that's what I was looking for, or in some tragedies that could happen in the family, for example. It looks like it's all randomly rolled, or I guess you could choose. And a section of spells, so that's pretty big. Downtime, they have things like downtime activities. So yeah, it's pretty comprehensive. So here, forge your own knightly orders. I guess you could forge your knightly orders as part of a profession. As art, I like the art. It's not invasive. There's a lot of text for sure, and it's, quite a few things. So here's some interesting sets of maps here in the middle here. Talk about Cairo, for example, Jerusalem as well. So here's a sort of poetic map of Jerusalem. Let's see if I could show. No, I can't show that better. Maybe I'll try to show it better, where there's no glare on it. Oh, it's getting there. It's getting there. Um, yeah, give me a second there, and I'll try to show that a little better. Here's a map without the blur, but it's still pretty far away that you can't quite see it. But they are poetic maps. They have one of Jerusalem and one of Cairo. I mean, Genius Monsters, I have quite a few monsters. I just wanted to highlight this one. It's like a double page spread, and it is of the Dulon, or sort of the legend behind the headless horseman. So they have that here as well. Well, I guess maybe for that contest that was highlighted in Jason of Nerds RPG Variety Cast, one of his recent podcasts. I guess if I had opened this book, I could have maybe submitted a 5e version. Anyway, so that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty neat to show that kind of monster. I didn't see any adventures, but I will flip through again real quick. Before I found the adventure, I just had to show another amazing. The art's great. It's a sepia kind of black and white art. I really do like the layout. See standard 5e sort of stat block, but this is El Nadarha. So I guess um, is Requiem of the Nile, so a merfolk type of creature that lives in the Nile. So I think that's a pretty neat. They did have an adventure though that was given as a um, sort of PDF supplement. I guess you could put it on as an add-on. Here's the cover. It's called Sigil of Jerusalem, so it takes place in Jerusalem. Um, so I think that's pretty cool that you kind of do that, or uh, take place at an adventure in Jerusalem, to start off maybe your Historia Arcanum Era of the Crusades campaign. And they have some other Historia Arcanum products. They have one called the Renaissance that they just did a Kickstarter for, but I think they're a pretty neat products. You can play any, I guess, there are not restrictions on the species races you can play, but definitely some are more rare. Magic is seen sometimes as an anathema in some places, so things to consider if you want to play the setting and delve into the setting and with all its trappings. So pretty interesting stuff. Again, here is the Era of the Crusades Historia Arcanum series, and I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you enjoy the next What's in the Box. Thank you for listening.